As everyone knows, Kageyama is an absolute yandere when it comes to Komi. She's even worn Komi's stockings on her own head. Today, their class had to change classrooms, and Kageyama, as usual, secured the seat with the perfect view of Komi. She was busy taking photos of her obsessively when she noticed a snag in Komi's stockings. As Komi's most devoted fan, she couldn't allow her idol to be seen in such an ungraceful state, let alone let anyone else in class witness it. So, she naturally stepped in to cover for her. If she told Komi about the snag, Komi would surely be deeply embarrassed. But if she didn't, Komi would still end up feeling ashamed once she discovered it later at home. Just as Kageyama was wrestling with this dilemma, her hand instinctively reached out to touch the damaged part of the stocking. She was torn. Part of her desperately wanted to tear Komi's stockings to shreds just to see her flustered and panicked. But after a moment of internal conflict, she decided to tell Komi about the snag after all. When Komi heard, she reached down to check, and just as expected, she was utterly embarrassed. But Kageyama came prepared. She always carries a spare pair of Komi's size 80D stockings. She promptly ushered Komi to the restroom to change. Step by step, Komi walked right into her trap. As Komi took off the damaged stockings, Kageyama whispered emotionally beside her, "I should have told you earlier," taking all the blame upon herself. Touched by Kageyama's seemingly sincere words, Komi sincerely thanked her. Overwhelmed with joy at receiving gratitude from her goddess, Kageyama burst into happy tears. Then, she handed Komi the new stockings and kindly offered to hold the old ones. But just as Komi was about to change, she heard a creepy, gleeful chuckle behind her. She turned to find Kageyama wearing the old stockings on her head, fully embracing her yandere persona. And that's how the opening scene came to be. But what no one expected was that Shono would end up being the biggest beneficiary of it all. Rewind to that morning, the day after Valentine's Day. Komi was recalling the moment she gave chocolate to Shono and felt so embarrassed she didn't want to go to school. Facing him would be too awkward. Just then, her mom walked in. Seeing Komi like this, she thought she was unwell. But when Komi denied it, her mother's experience kicked in. She instantly guessed what must have happened at school yesterday. Seeing Komi's stubborn reluctance, her mom calmly remarked, "If you skip school today, you'll lose your perfect attendance award." For a model student like Komi, that was the one thing she couldn't compromise on. And so, filled with anxiety, she went to school. Thankfully, the first person she ran into was Ogota, who knew Komi would receive lots of chocolate and teased, "Eating too much will make you gain weight, you know?" Next, Najimi complimented her chocolate. Then, Nakami, who had been waiting just to see Komi walk by, thanked her in her Chinibu-style manner. Before she knew it, Komi had reached the classroom door. The moment she saw Shono, the window glass reflected her inner turmoil, too shy to go in. After what felt like a century of mental struggle, she finally stepped inside. But Shono greeted her just like any other day, completely unaware of Komi's serious expression. Even with his mind-reading skills, he couldn't decipher what she was thinking. Although he hadn't seen this look on her in a while, he felt a hint of pride, unaware that Komi always wore this expression around him lately. Shono began wondering whether he had upset Komi yesterday or said something strange. In reality, Komi was just struggling desperately to hide her embarrassment. After some thought, Shono decided to start by telling her his thoughts on the chocolate. It was really delicious. At that, Komi blushed deeply and dashed out of the room.